to reach full maturity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Okay. So if you watch Game Jam over the weekend, as we ended the streams, we had a little image which said Elite Dungeons today. This is something that I think you're going to absolutely love. We kind of touched on it in the news post on Friday. But without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to Mod Orion and Mod Sova. And I'm going to go join them, and they're going to show you Elite Dungeons. Take it away, guys.
Hello. How's it going? Yeah, I'm Mod Orion, and this is Mod Sova. And
Not sofa.
Not Sofa or Sokka. Mod Jesus, if you will. And I'm Mod Onion, apparently. So we're here to talk about Elite Dungeons and primarily the first Elite Dungeon. We'll show you some teasers of the second one as well, just to, keep you salivating. We do have plans for a larger stream for this next week, which is going to be awesome. We're going to talk about the entire development process for this, what we've been up to for the past 3 months. You guys haven't seen me or Mod Sova since the Christmas quest. We've been,
Yeah, it has been a long time.
it's been a while, right? Yeah, we've been buckling down, and let's show you what we've been up to. So on the screen, you can see that the player has a couple of options for venturing into Elite Dungeons. And you can enter in normal mode, which...
Wait.
Oh, go on.
Where are we?
We're in the Ark. We're in the Washanko Isles. We're at the Temple of Aminishi.
Oh.
Finally, the doors get a use. Love it.
We changed the examine. It was something like the blocked entrance to a mysterious place or something like that. And I'm like,
works.
what? It's just not
What's it
true
say now?
anymore.
The entrance. Oh, the entrance. To a mysterious place. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so basically you can enter on story mode, which currently, and by the way, everything that I say on this stream is, subject to change, balancing dependent, but we're mostly there, let's face it. Story mode, all the NPCs are at half of their regular health, and the damage they do is about a third of what they would normally do, so about 33% of the damage incoming to you. And this allows players who don't necessarily thrive in combat environments,
me.
the PVM scrubs, to experience the content and go through and see the story. Because the plan for these is to make them kind of like mini quests, and they will work in a trilogy and explore some of the story that we've set out this year already, actually. Yeah, so a couple of the updates are already related to this. So.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Yeah, let's go in. Like, we've been at the door for 2 minutes. Let's go in on normal mode. So, essentially, this is a 1 to 3 player PVM challenge.
Why 1 to 3?
It's more accessible.
Yep.
It's a lot easier for you to just grab a friend, or if you don't have any friends, beg in the Grand Exchange or something like that, and you can head in, and it's balanced around efficiency scape for maybe trio groups, and a mild challenge, like quite hard in some places for solo. For trio, you're looking at something like God Wars Dungeon 2, maybe Arax, or that kind of spectrum of difficulty. For duo, it gets a little bit harder, and solo will challenge you quite a bit. We expect some players to be able to rinse this, but we don't want this to be the next Warden. We don't want this to be the next Inferno in old school. This is going to be a moderate PVM challenge.
You can definitely get carried.
Yes, you can definitely get carried. So
Every
skillets can
time
come
we
in
test it, I get carried.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Mod Chaosi's back is hurting from carrying the pair of us through the dungeon. Okay, so we are currently on invisible mode, so the NPCs won't see us. What you will expect from them seeing us is to, they have like aggro radiuses and daisy chaining aggro effect. So if one of them sees you, let's say you're within 10 tiles range of them, they'll kind of pull all of the other dudes around them in another 10 tile range, and that will actually happen twice. So you can pull around corners. If one of the guys sees you and they're in range of another dude who's around a corner that can't see you, they'll be alerted as well and they'll come around. So we added a little bit of extra AI to the NPCs here on top of our awesome NPC behavior system. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. You can see some of it on the screen right now. So rather than just have guys standing around ready to attack you, just not doing anything interesting, we've got some variation of like patrols, groups that will do things, have conversations. There's some guys there training. There's a chapel full of dudes here. So to bring it to life and tell a little bit of the story, that we want to tell with the Temple of Aminishi through the environment, rather than having to go up and chat to someone for 5 hours, you could sit around and overhear what's going on as you're going through and fighting these guys.
So obviously you have your sentries patrolling the area, as you can see them walking around and stuff like that. Okay, that's really cool.
And that feeds into the whole daisy chaining aggro as well. So if you time something badly, perhaps you want to fight these 3 guys in front of us. If you timed it badly, you'd get the patrol coming from the right, who would daisy chain possibly into a humongous group over in the distance.
Thank you.
And you'd think, oh no, we have to run, we're going to die.
So, couple questions straight off the bat. Grouping system, does this utilize it?
Yep.
It does indeed.
Use the grouping system.
Yes,
Okay.
we're not going to show you. Oh, we got a mini boss spawning. That's cool. I was going to say we got really unlucky about some of the mini bosses because they have some really cool things. One of the mini boss dudes kind of spawns here and looks through the books and stuff, and it uses the same behavior system. This is something we can actually kind of package up and use around the rest of the game world as well. So we're currently using this as a pilot for all of that.
So, this is kind of a tie-in with Dungeoneering, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how are you? So just to kind of set the scene, kind of thing. How are you expecting to encourage people who might not interact with Dungeoneering as a skill, but might get use out of Dungeoneering with this content?
Do you want to get this one?
Yep, so people who say straight up like PVM would enjoy this, obviously. But it's aimed as an alternate Dungeoneering training track because you get Dungeoneering XP. Also, Dungeoneering tokens.
Indeed.
Ooh.
So what we're going to do with that is open up probably more than one additional reward shops. There's going to be a Elite Dungeon meta reward shop, which will have maybe some new consumables and things you'll need for some of the new rewards, new tokens and things like that. And what we're trying to do is branch out the Dungeoneering skill across the RuneScape metagame. Because Dungeoneering has this stigma attached to it that it's a minigame skill. It's localized to one area, Demonheim. So what we've done is we've added things like shifting tombs with Menaphos, which allows you to train Dungeoneering, get GP and stuff like that as well. But there's no reason why going into a dungeon shouldn't give you Dungeoneering XP. It's quite thematic in that regard.
I've got a lot of questions that I'm just reading and trying to keep in my head, so I'll try and rattle these off really quickly.
I found one earlier. You can farm the dungeons. You can just keep on running them. There's no lockout, but we are playing with the idea of having some kind of lockout content. So the first dungeon you do every week, you'll get an extra chest on top of whatever you get from the bosses and doing your regular thing.
Iron Man, do they have to play this solo or can they group?
Iron Men should be able to group with other Iron Men currently.
Cool.
It uses a similar system that raids have.
Unsafe death?
This is an unsafe death.
So Hacker Iron Man are at risk.
They are indeed.
Cool. These barriers that are coming up, do you want to explain, why are these barriers here? Out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking.
Give yourself some insta-kill darts.
No. Actually, yeah, should we use a bit of mod privilege?
Test.
Yeah.
Test hit all. Oh, love it.
Okay, so we're a bit overpowered. But essentially, they work like guardian doors, so that we stop you guys from running through the entire dungeon and kiting everything, catching things around corner and stuff like that. And generally, the idea is that you must defeat the NPCs that are tied to the specific doors, and we make that quite obvious with their positioning They're patrol routes. There are a lot of NPCs that aren't actually tied to doors, and they're just on patrols and stuff. So one of the things we like as well is the environment for this area is absolutely stunning.
Wow, wait,
it's astounding.
That's awesome.
So these guys were just out of range of our tactical nuke. And you know their behavior at the moment is just a simple patrol, and that's for us as devs is what, like 10 minutes to make now because of the system that we've written. That's not overly interesting to you guys, to be quite fair, but what it does mean is that we can make these dungeons at a much faster pace after this one. So we're already working on dungeon 2, and it should take us half the time. Fingers crossed.
A lot of people asking who is that in the background, so I guess we'll jump to it.
Oh, who is that in the background? That could be the first boss. I'm just slightly too far away. Let's float. Yeah, so this is the Sanctum Guardian. This is definitely Claudia reimagined. Fraudia, as our arts team have called it. So this is a Crassian. This is kind of spoilerish, but we don't mind saying it. Yeah, this is a Crassian, and it is related to some of the content this year. And that's about as much as we're going to mention in terms of the lore. I'm not going to start the boss encounter. It's
entirely new mechanics, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not a copy paste.
It's not a mechanical copy paste of Claudia.
One of the things I really like are the kind of HDR textures and the emissive textures that Mod JT has done here. He's done a great job on all the character work for us. And yeah, essentially, this guy is guarding the entrance to the inner sanctum of Temple of Aminishi. So far, what we've actually gotten through is like probably over 100 NPCs you've had to fight to get here. And we're not even halfway, really. We're in area 2 of 5 of the dungeon. So, yes, this is dungeoneering. It's actually PVM. It's a kind of a boss and trash NPC general challenge. It's like a gauntlet. You fight your way through it. Yes, there's awesome rewards. We're touching on...
One of the questions I just saw is
Go on.
there are drops from the guys that you're killing, not just DD tokens and
Yes,
XP.
so that's it. You can come in here and you can get a decent amount of GP per hour. This is the key point, is this is an alternative route to dungeoneering, but it's also still PVM. The idea is that you are running around doing your boss runs, you know, instead of maybe doing an hour of Kriara or Araxi or something. You might want to come here with one of your mates and get a few mil GP.
We are using the loot chest system from the Sophanum Slayer dungeon as well.
Oh, nice. So rewards go into... Okay, nice. Yep, that's cool.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
Also, I'm going to say, rewards, are we allowed to talk about a few of them, or are we...
I think so.
Okay.
So one of the key things that you guys are going to want to know is, you know, what tier are the rewards? I can say 92 is a number
92
that is associated with this update.
Okay. Okay.
So is 82 and everything in between, to be fair, but 92 is the number that you guys wanted to hear.
There is a range, and the range includes 92.
Yes. So one of the things that we've done...
Are we doing this then? Sorry.
Yes,
We've already got videos of you doing this.
Yeah, but without me even knowing.
So tune in next week. I think it's Tuesday at 5.
Yeah, next Tuesday
as
at 5,
per usual. We'll have a video prepared of Shawnee dying to the second boss in playtesting.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so again...
And Mod Shogun, maybe?
Mod Shogun as well. Mod Shogun.
Wait, but you didn't record the one where I did it? So you recorded my death, but not my
Sorry,
win.
I don't remember you ever doing it.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Shawnee's he's one of our wardens in Jagex. We've got, 2 wardens?
Me and Mod Yago.
Sweet, okay. I'll be there in 3 months. Been trying to
rewards from this straight into Warden. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So one of the things you'll notice as well is when I right-click on the treasure chest, there's a teleport option. And what that does is that acts as checkpoints throughout the dungeon. There will be 4 of these chests because there are 3 bosses in the Temple of Aminishi, and we plan to do 3 bosses in every subsequent dungeon for this trilogy of Elite Dungeons. Essentially, if you die because you will die to some of the bosses, you're going to want to run back in and then right-click teleport, and then you can teleport to the boss that you were at. So, for example, we've got this all set up so that if I click the teleport option, it will take me back to the first boss. When it spawns in, that'd be great. There we go. And yeah, it's literally as simple as that. If you've made it there, you can teleport. You don't have to worry about running back. Currently, the experience is you die. You go to Death's office, you click the hourglass, you go back to Temple of Aminishi, you go inside, you teleport back to the boss. It's as simple as that, and you can carry on.
So your reward isn't affected by you dying, no? Or is it?
We're not sure about that yet. Currently, we have a little note that says we should probably tax you guys if you die.
Your
I feel like
treasure chest is taxed
Yes.
if you die.
Okay, good.
This is in the same way as the Softenham Slayer dungeon.
Good.
If
Your boss loot isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're dropping to the floor, there isn't a similar tax, but we might, maybe.
I feel like, personally, the reward is if you somehow manage to keep your food all the way through, you manage to make it in that one run, I think you deserve that, but that's just my personal perspective on it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Skill pet drops, I presume, from combat as per usual.
Yep, absolutely.
DG?
The DG pet works.
Awesome.
There is one small thing that we need to do with that, which is ensure that it goes into your inventory. Because it usually only drops from Demonheim, it would automatically go to your bank and you get
Oh,
a
of course,
message.
yes.
Right.
In this case, you don't necessarily need to. Okay.
You might have also noticed that some of the Aminishi denizens on that you can have as Slayer contracts exist in this dungeon.
Oh, very good. By the way, I'm absolutely loving how you're going from room to room. It's getting darker and a lot more like evil, I guess, is the best way of putting it. This is really, really awesome.
We'll definitely talk about that in the next stream. But
Because it started off a bit bright, because you were just coming from the outside. You've gone deeper into the temple. Now it's starting to get more darker and everything. I love this. This is so great to look at and play.
The environment guys have done a great job. We've sat around and talked about the environment and the narrative, that what we can show visually is extremely important when designing like a mimetic dungeon experience like this. One of the things that we've avoided doing is having chat dialogues. We don't need chat dialogues. You go in and you fight them. They tell you...
Says. Why not say it?
Says, exactly. What we can do is maybe start a fight with the second boss and get him to say some stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any lore spoilers there. He generally has bad guy speak. Let's put it that way.
A couple of questions while you're on your way there.
Please send them my way.
Is there any like banks midway through for you to restock at all?
Yes.
Yes.
You can access your loot chest. So in terms of what actually drops to help you in the dungeon, we need to make sure that that's balanced.
Sure.
We need to make sure that, if we expect most players have probably eaten a rocktail soup or two to get to the first boss, we should probably replenish that in some form. I'm sorry. This is looking so. I almost swore. Oh my god. This is looking great. Jesus, this is awesome. Yeah, one of the things I like this dungeon, and I like showing the scale to people.
Oh my word.
So
okay.
Specifically, this area is over 4 map squares. The entire size of the dungeon is similar to Menethos. So this is just area 3. So we're in area 3.
5.
There's 5 areas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dungeon 2 in the series will be slightly smaller, but there's a reason for that. It's actually one massive area that you can traverse and see, and in NXT that's amazing. This is more like a typical RuneScape dungeon from the past, and you essentially you go from ladder to ladder or trapdoor to trapdoor, and you navigate like the dungeons of old. Right, let's put this back in the corner.
Can I talk about what you guys have done regarding the internal side of things, i.e. the systems in making this for future content? For example, let's say one dev team wants to do more dungeons based on something else, and what you guys have done to make that easier. Yep. Are you able to explain that, if that makes sense?
We touched on it a little bit earlier, but we've set up a lot of the frameworks for making content like this much faster to make. So
if a dev team wants to make that on new content, they have the framework of a dungeon set up for them. They just need to plug their stuff in.
Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome.
One of the ideas that we had floating around was a more skilling oriented stealth dungeon where you're training your thieving alongside dungeoneering, and that would all be, you know, avoiding enemies and lock picking doors and timing things and stuff like that.
Someone said loads of action bars, question mark. Yeah, you can do that. You've been able to do that for a few months now. It's an Ninja update. If you didn't know that, you can do it. Story mode, I presume. Does story mode have loot?
Story mode has tiny, pointless loot.
Okay, so just flavor loot. then, in
Currently,
that
it has
sense. Okay.
no loot.
Cool.
Currently, it has no loot, and we may launch with no loot on story mode.
Okay, let's go for a couple of things. What do we look at, like, from a GP and XP perspective? What are you looking at? Because obviously people are going to want to compare the XP from this compared to normal dungeoneering and shifting tombs, etc. How is that looking? Or what are you aiming for, I should say?
GP is subject to our. I've just gone back. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
You went the
Went
wrong
to-
way.
I
Wait,
went
got
the wrong
lost.
sorry, can you go back out? Because I want to see the size of room 2 on the minimap if we can do that as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I just want to, because it just looks great. I feel like it's just
let's
show it.
sate Shawnee's curiosity. Did I lock my?
Yeah, you did.
Face?
Room 2 is probably the smallest.
Room 2 and 5.
But
Yeah.
from a scale perspective, like, because of the wide, and obviously, you know, there's not actually got the, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
It's got the platforms you move over. It just looks so pretty.
It still takes you a good 5 minutes to traverse this because if you aggro all of these
There you go.
Yeah.
spirit dragons or spirit serpents at the same time, because yes,
You will
law
get
people,
wrecked.
they're not dragons. They are serpents. Yeah, you will get wrecked. Their ranged attacks are pretty savage, to be honest. So there will be some cool little mechanics for the NPCs that are not bosses, so they can heal, and you might want to prioritize healers and
Yep.
blockers and prayer stoppers and stunners and stuff like that first. You may want to take out the guy that can cleave before you take out the guy that's just throwing darts at you, that type of thing. I'll be honest, like, a lot of players will just steamroll through the trash. They'll just shove on their death swiftness, go crazy, group them up, but that's cool. I like that. I like seeing how people are the most efficient at clearing the dungeon because it gives them DG XP. If you can, as a group of 3, get 2 people to run around and grab everything and you can survive that, then fair play to you. Like, you can get 200, 300k XP in dungeoneering like that.
What are the requirements to get started on this content
It's one little mini quest called Impressing the Locals.
to get access to the Ark?
Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
We're not blocking out anything. Like, even the final dungeon that we want to do has relations to the Pieces of Hate quest, but we're not going to make Pieces of Hate a requirement to going in there. There's just going to be slight narrative differences. So yeah, let's go through the dungeon.
Nice.
And we'll show off some concept art and stuff as well. Right, I need to remember that this is south facing and I'm going to teleport across to... I should have just done this on my map. One of the things that I want to talk about as well is mini bosses and going off the beaten path. So essentially there will be little areas like this, which there's no reason to go here other than some achievements that we're doing, some lore books, you know, collect the 20 pieces of Ele's diary, who was an acolyte here and disappeared, and you need to find out what happened to her. Check out the mini boss that spawns here. You'll be going through, and one of the guys in your group will be like, "Oh, there's a mini boss icon on the mini map. Let's go kill it." Because you might get 50k DG tokens or something like that, and that's the kind of thing we want to make you do.
It just adds a little bit of variance every time you play it as well, because
Exactly.
a different one might spawn in a different place every time you do it.
Do you foresee daily challenges working with us?
We don't want to touch that because
Fair.
we might change that system in the future. Let
Okay.
alone adding more content to it now. We do have an idea about, I think you mentioned it earlier, about rewarding people like once a month for interacting with the dungeon. No daily scape, no weekly scape, but you might get an extra little loot crate or something for your first month, first
That's
clear
fair.
of the month.
The first completion of the month or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the obvious question. Comp, trim, and MQC. What are you guys' thoughts on stuff for that?
Well, there are bosses in here, and bosses generally go on Reaper, don't they?
So this is interesting in a sense because obviously you have other bosses in game that aren't on Reaper. So this is a commitment they are going to be on Reaper. So if they're going to be on Reaper, final boss,
Probably.
IFB.
We
Boss log?
plugged into IFB and Reaper
I'm
currently.
going to keep going. Boss log.
Boss log, yes, except it's a dungeon log for us. So for us, what Modsova's done is he's taken the boss log system, he's added the dungeon as a whole. So all of the Sanctum Guardian's bosses all of Masuta the Ascended's bosses,
Yep.
loots. And I always pronounce it wrong, but all of Seiryu's boss drops as well, who's of the massive azure serpent, and we're going to actually show you him or it very soon. Yeah, he's hype. I'll show you the concept first.
Reaper.
Reaper.
Are we on Reaper?
Yeah, they're plugged in right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
You can
so
look at it in the achievement right now.
I'm not going to, just in case we spoil something.
no, yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't tend to play with mechanics we're not sure of, just in case. Spoilers. Right, where we go?
So there will be a few players analysing every single room in this dungeon and trying to figure out the narrative. And they can do that. That's great. I'm not going to spoil too much here, but so some of the things we've got are like, you know, some NPCs training. You can come in and
This is so
interact
good
and stuff like that. These gorgeous little corridors, these little blue pillars and stuff. Oh, just happened to teleport in front of a barrier. What an idiot. So there's like little mess rooms and sleeping rooms and stuff, and you'll come in here and there'll be a little lore drop on a barrel. You need to collect that for the achievement. You know, just little things like that. We want to encourage exploration. You can do that in story mode. So those of you guys who have, I don't know, level 50 combat stats or something, you can probably get carried by your mate who kills Araxor every week.
Story mode will not count for Reaper.
Okay, how
Yes, that's important. Well done for remembering that.
how is all this fit into a small temple in Aminishi? Out of curiosity.
A lot of it's underground.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the main answer we've got.
Rocks right there.
And also, Gielinor, okay, it's not just like you can't walk across an entire continent in 17 minutes like you actually can in gameplay. There's a sense of scale. I think we've mentioned this a few times. Yeah, so the actual temple itself is more like a gateway. This is the actual size. And even this may not be representative of a real world temple, let's put it that way. Yeah, sense of scale is important.
So
Right.
so can you theoretically carry someone who is just a skiller in this? Is it possible? It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
They currently we don't have any handling for them getting any XP. So if a skiller who is a defense pure or whatever pure that they want to be, they will get combat XP if they touch the creatures.
Of course.
They may not get credit if they don't touch the creatures. Herein lies the dilemma. We may put on a level 10 minimum for getting any combat XP in here in a skill. So this is a stretch goal. Currently, if you are a skiller, you choose to deny yourself some of the privileges of the game.
Yep.
We will not spend too much time designing content around you, though we do take probably too much consideration to your play choice. So yeah, we'll see. You can definitely come through and complete the quest. Let's put it that way. Right.
And get the lore drops and stuff like that.
You can definitely get those, yeah. As long as you can walk in here and pick stuff up while everyone else is killing things, that's great. All right, this guy's pretty cool. We'll show you a screenshot of him later. He's Masuta the Ascended. He is one of the Council of Seven. I will not say anything more about the Council of Seven. They're mysterious. Let's leave them as mysterious.
Behind your webcam.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah, it's behind your webcam. There you go.
Oh, sweet.
Because obviously we've got the webcam board. And now
Yes,
you
you're
can see
right.
it. Okay.
Thank you for telling me that. Right, so I'm invisible, but I'm just going to show you some of like how we do lore stuff. I could probably go into this. Okay, so essentially we get these little...
Can you
he's
turn off?
wrecking
Yeah,
me.
stop attacking him so we don't get the chat spam. There you go. We're good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so essentially he does some basic lore, and throughout the fight, again, not going to spoil anything, not going to show you too many mechanics, so I will teleport away shortly.
Get ready on that telly.
We'll show you them like a couple of bits.
Mm-hmm.
I need to run away from this crap.
Spoiler to run away from an attack. Spoiler.
Don't stand in that purple fire.
So it's safe to say, right? This is a boss at the end of this dungeon. It's solo, and because it's solo, this is going to be a hard hitter. That's safe to say. Is that correct?
Yeah, that particular boss can hit you for 13k, I think. There are mechanics in the fight that allow you to avoid that, obviously, and there are prayers and stuff you can use. So we'll leave it to you guys to come up with methods on how to beat the boss.
The difference between solo and groups isn't going to be, hey, we scaled his health up to 3 times the amount.
No.
trying to be a bit more clever about what we do. So there are mechanics in there that will be inherently easier to deal with if you have two other people with you to help you deal with them. What's that?
What's that?
What's that?
Yeah, essentially.
Holy hell.
It's going to be the same fight.
Sorry, I can't see this properly. Okay. Okay, cool. Wow, okay. Sorry, I was a bit amazed by that.
Masuta has just over 1 million health. You have to take 1 million health solo. Sorry, 500,000 health solo. The same amount of life points that he has. And also, if you are in their duo or trio, it's still 500,000 health. It becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot...
I don't think anyone cares about Masuta anymore.
Yeah, we've found a dragon dude, haven't we? He's set you the Azure Serpent, and he is... I say
Big.
he.
He is also genderless.
Yeah, genderless, whatever. Like, people are going to call it he, she, you know, it's cool. It's a giant
It is huge.
guardian dragon thing.
Someone said, is he waving hello?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Let's have a little...
Can I just say,
journey
this
over.
is exactly why I put free cam into this game and the way you get to it, just for stuff like this.
Oh, God,
because
yeah.
it makes it so much worth it. Press space as well. Screw with that chat.
I have pressed space.
No, the
to
chat
get rid of
box.
The...
The chat box should go away if you press space.
It doesn't.
What?
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so here we have a massive...
He's giving a nice little wink to everyone.
That's cute. Hey, guys. Yeah, as you can see by his, like, serpentine body...
He's everywhere.
going through the sewer system. This is Seiryu, the guardian spirit. Oh, you can press space twice.
F2.
F2.
There you
Alright, nice one, dude. So yeah, he's the guardian spirit of water.
Everyone waving. Amazing.
Oh man, I love that he's winking. This is. But do you think Wing did this on purpose?
Mod Wing.
Mod
Wing.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Wink. Oh yeah, okay. Again, lore. Don't want to talk about it too much. He's not very happy right now. You can kind of see he's not very free to move. Something's going on there. That's not good. Maybe we should rescue this dude. Maybe he's a pretty cool dude. I don't know. Let's just leave it at that. What do you reckon? So yeah, this is Seiryu, and you will be involved in kind of an encounter with him in some form.
Do you want to move your character closer just so you get a sense of scale?
Holy. Wow. Okay, yeah, you are an insect, should I say. Good grief. Is this Spyro's grandpa, someone said?
Spyro's grandpa.
This is Spyro's grandpa.
I like it. Yeah.
Wow, that is just... I mean, I didn't quite realise you were actually that small compared to the...
Oh, he's a big boy. Okay,
And
so
cue up the chat on that one.
we've got some screenshots that we want to show you. Should we go through some of the quick ones
Yeah, let's
that
do it.
we've shown in the news post?
Are you bringing them up on here? Or
Yeah,
okay.
they'll be on the
Awesome.
the current PC. Okay, so I'm going to go through these quickly. Some of you guys have seen these already. We've just taken some screenshots of what you've already seen
Training
to
dummy
showcase
bit.
them.
Room 2.
Yeah, with Fraudia.
Room
the
1.
The Sanctum Guardian. And then we've got Masuta the Ascendant. It's a really nice little framing shot of him there because...
Can we get that weapon? I have to ask her.
You can. It's called Masuta's War Spear. It's augmentable. It's pretty awesome. It sits somewhere between existing tiers. So this is not the tier 92 stuff
Gotcha.
that we're talking about.
We do have a couple of other cosmetics as well.
Cool.
Yes, we
Do you
do.
want to talk about them?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Sakadagami of
Yes.
the Elementals.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can dress up as a Sakadagami.
Wait, is that a cinematic shot? Wait, is that in game? That's not
Yes,
in game.
that is in game.
No way. What?
No, this is a pre-rendered
Oh.
little
I was gonna
scene.
say, holy hell!
Yeah. This is obviously.
Cutscene spoilers? No.
That is so awesome.
Don't say that. Yeah, just like a sense of scale. Should we show a true sense of scale? So the second boss compared to Seiryu.
So,
So
Right.
just like
Oh wait, so there's the player there, right? Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know the player there.
this is the second boss standing on the manacle that holds him in place. This is one hell of a big NPC, and seriously, the artists have done such an incredible job. We're looking at Mod Alex, Mod JT, Mod Damo, Mod Luke F. They've all helped us like massively with this project.
How did you pitch this to them?
I mean, we just said like, let's do a giant dragon thing in a dungeon, and they went, yeah, cool. Like, this is the kind of stuff that they live for. I don't know. When you get Mod Raven saying, "Can you make me a strawberry cow?"
True.
Why would
Fair
you
enough.
question
Actually,
that?
you know what? Fair play.
By the way, strawberry cows are awesome. Not taking anything away from that. I've got a debuggy kind of screenshot where my player character is kind of, yeah. Where is this? Somewhere outside Falador.
Dark Wizard Tower?
Yeah, that's right. So this is one of the other textures for Say You, which is a spoiler. My heart. Let's not go back to that.
Really? We're gonna go back there again? I thought we were past this last June. Good grief.
Let's show the concept art and kind of where we've actually gotten to. So
Wow.
the difference between like what we've actually okay, spoilers. He becomes Ribena and stuff.
Oh man. Okay. Wowie.
So just like I don't know, let's show it from this kind of angle. In game. Not in game. So yeah, the guys have done really well to basically bring it to life. I'm just so impressed.
I really hope the art guys upload some of this when it's out, just for wallpapers and stuff, because I think like, you know, a nice creative shot of this in a wallpaper would be amazing.
For definite. Yeah, we've got the regular version. As you can see here, he matches his acolytes when they ascend into Arhats and Anagami. And we've got the, I hesitate to say corrupted, but he's certainly malafflicted in some form version.
He's Ribened.
He's Ribened. Yeah, that's
Would
it.
you say it's kind of like QPD in a sense?
He's not dead.
No, not like kind of in the same
Not got
style, how
maggots.
it's like essentially kept to one spot and then you fight it in that sense.
Yes, this has the additional element with the tail, but seriously, it is chained down.
Seriously?
Whatever.
Really?
Did you seriously do that?
Just pun that.
Seriously.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, right. That's going to be a thing in the office now. So, yeah, essentially, you are fighting the corruption.
Not
Say You.
Seyu.
Yeah. So, essentially, like, put on your boxing gloves and beat the crap out of it until it spits out the corruption. Then you fight the corruption. Corruption's pretty difficult to deal with. There's like an A-B phased boss fight, and you do that until you defeat what are essentially the large black crystals on the back. And they're the things that are kind of embedded into its spine, draining it of power, corrupting it, and influencing its mental health in a way. So they're the Seyu screenshots that we wanted to show. We'll
We've got
wrap this
something
up,
else.
I think.
Right, okay, if we're going to wrap this
Yeah.
up, I'm going to try and summarize everything you guys have just said in the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, we can
Try.
show off a little bit of Dungeon 2 before or after. What would you prefer?
Do Dungeon 2 now, and then we'll do
Okay.
it. Yeah.
It's super quick. Just want to tease a couple of things for Dungeon 2. The storyline is a follow-on. The narrative is related, and it's also related to the rest of some other stuff that's happened this year as well. So we have had some awesome concept art and a layout built for us. We had a meeting. We sat down for 45 minutes. This took. That's it. We were so efficient. It was ridiculous. Everyone had their morning caffeine. And we said, right, we need an area in a lava cavern. Being really careful to step around certain keywords. We need to put 3 bosses in it. And it needs to tell this particular story. I'm revealing much, am I?
No, that's
this is good.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's what you're meant to let people do.
We'll do it like that.
Will Dungeon 1 have any kind of references as to what it could be as an idea? Or have you guys thought about that?
When you complete the story of Dungeon 1,
Yep.
you get a clue
Okay,
to
cool.
go to this one. So it is a lead
Awesome.
that you need to follow.
Not necessarily a clue scroll.
No, not necessarily a clue scroll. Yeah, all right. I mean,
Why?
honestly, I feel like that was probably a good thing to clarify.
Always been deadly serious.
Oh, I thought you were just being... Oh, okay, that's... Okay.
So one of the things I want to just show off what our art team have done is I'll show the area map, the world map in... I see lots of Elder God stuff. This is not related to
Mark.
Elder Gods in a way. Oh God, it's not related to Gilinor's Elder God. Oh God,
Should you have taken that question on, I wonder?
I just saw lots of Elder
just
Gods.
let it go by. Let it go by.
Sweet
It's got
and,
nothing to do with
It's
that.
probably not what you think it is.
It's probably not.
Okay, cool.
Apart from that guy, he got it right.
Oh, shut up!
It's all out of
Oh no,
sync.
they've got it right. Maybe 30 seconds. You don't know what we're talking about. Okay, so I just wanted to show off. Shawnee's like spinning around. So anyway, it's not a big deal, is it? Oh, whatever. So it's just certain things in your life that shouldn't leak, and that is one of them.
Talk to me about personal experiences about leaks. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you want to talk to a professional about
almost
them
1 year.
Do you need to see a medical professional?
It's been almost 1 year now. God, oh.
Right, okay, so currently we just have a map on the screen, so I'll quickly move on. Essentially, what I want to show is the mini-map in NXT and also the world map in the client, and show what our artists have been able to do with this concept. So this is like the real basic, what we call in the industry a grey box, which is an environment that has been made, it's just like been carved out of plasticine or whatever in the world. And it doesn't have any final kits, doesn't have any cool textures, it's just, this is the map. So, as you can see, I'll quickly flash back. All of the little crevices and the room shapes are built into the map, and this is, we're already starting Dungeon 2. And the mini-map is also the same. Here's a section of the mini-map. I'm showing like, 4 map squares here. Yeah, essentially, we were able to translate the entire design that we wanted straight into the world, and we can start mapping down creatures and bosses and start planning boss fights. Like, for example, the semicircle area in the center left of this image is a boss fight. There will be a boss there called Astalan, and that's all I'm gonna say. Mod Sova's looking at me like, don't say the bit after its name.
The title just says what it is.
Yeah,
That would
pretty
ruin
much.
it.
Yeah, it's like Seat-Yu, the Azure Serpent, Astalan, the something.
Close.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that's
The
us.
floppy spider.
The floppy
Right.
spider. Go and milk it. Oh, good old.
Nice callback to Player on Farms there. Oh, great. Right, okay. I'll try to summarise everything we just talked about here in Elite Dungeon. So, no requirements to enter apart from getting to Aminishi via impressing the locals.
Yep.
Caveat being, you should probably
You
have
should-
some combat skills.
Right, absolutely stress you should obviously be prepared, have your gear. It doesn't use any form of dungeoneering gear, it uses your gear, correct?
Yeah.
So obviously the normal degrades and everything else apply as per usual inside
Oh,
there.
yeah. Death reclaim. It all counts.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
It uses the treasure chest system, same as Softening Dungeon.
Yep.
So stacks up loot as you go on and go on and go on. If you die, you get a little bit of attacks, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Currently. Everything is currently.
So Dungeon 1, as we're calling there, does it have a Temple of Aminishi? Is that correct? Temple of Aminishi.
Elite Dungeon, Temple of Aminishi.
Has 5 rooms, but basically these rooms are massive in the sense of map squares, so there's more than enough there. Split into sections where you have to kill enemies to kind of progress. Bosses in certain rooms as well, as you kind of saw. 3 of them. Iron Men can group, but only with other Iron Men.
Yep.
Yep.
Uses the grouping system.
Yep.
Hardcore Iron Man, obviously, if they die, will obviously lose a life or be permadead, depending, of course. And then we have a special number called 92 related to equipment, and 82 as well, using your phrase, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. And then everything else in between. That's like the big, I think, kind of the overview and highlights perspective for me anyway, that kind of springs to mind. And obviously the biggest thing is that you can, of course, train engineering here if you so wish, alongside, of course, your other combat skills. You can do Reaper. The boss is tied into IFB, FB, collection log. It has its own log, and some everything else. I think as a summary, kind of sums it up nicely, I hope.
Yeah.
For anyone joining late.
And more things to spend your dungeoneering tokens on.
Oh,
Yay.
and obviously more. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Everyone wants to know an ETA. We mentioned in the news post on Friday. We didn't mention the ETA of the news post on Friday. We just said it's summer content. What are you allowed to say about ETA?
There are 3 dungeons planned.
Yep.
The first dungeon should be coming out end of June.
Okay.
And it's on track. I mean, you've seen it here. It's here. We've shown you it. That's 2 months away, and it's pretty much ready. We've got players coming in for a playtest. So yeah, end of June. That starts off the summer.
Awesome.
Summer of Elite Dungeons. The second dungeon is planned for end of July, beginning of August.
What?
Yep.
You're gonna wait. How are you gonna do that?
Because
Genuinely.
we're working on it now. So one of the key things that we wanted to do with this update, myself and Mod Sova here,
Okay.
We wanted to build a system that allowed us to rapidly create and like prototype dungeons. Realistically, all we need to create a dungeon is an environment. We need character art. We need boss mechanics.
Yep.
And we need achievements and rewards. Then it needs to be QA'd, and then it's a case of we have a dungeon. So if we can create a boss fight, and a simple boss fight at that, let's face it, this is not Solak, this is not Angel of Death. The bosses would be ridiculous. They're not 7-man, they're not 10-man. This is not Liberation of Mazcab. These are, they're mechanically a bit more complicated than maybe dungeoneering bosses and such like that, but they represent a challenge. They are simpler and a bit more faster to prototype and create. So essentially, once you've got all of those ingredients, you can make a dungeon.
So we have quite a fair bit of, I think it's safe to say, boss and content coming out. May is Solak, and obviously now, end of June, is Elite Dungeons.
Yep.
So obviously the
1.
first Elite Dungeon, I should mention, which is called the Temple of Aminishi. So there is obviously a lot of stuff coming up, to say the very least, but I think that was awesome. I think it looks incredible. And I'm going to use it as a chance to obviously plug that next Tuesday's live stream. We have a stream literally dedicated to Elite Dungeons, but I believe more on the art style as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, more on the whole behind the scenes. We're spotlighting the update.
Yeah.
Showing off maybe, if you're interested in development, if you're interested in concept art and level design and the process that we've gone through to achieve this currently, then tune in, because we're going to be talking about it for about an hour. It'd be pretty awesome.
Awesome. And obviously, as well, we have a group Iron Man poll in-game right now, so feel free to vote on that if you so wish. As a FYI, when the stream ends, we'll, of course, be sending out the Runescape reward, which is a clue scroll, so keep an eye out for that, and obviously, best of luck to you on your clue scrolls when you get that. And also on Thursday this week, we have another stream which is related to a Game Jam. So obviously, we had Game Jam take place over the weekend, Friday to Sunday. It was awesome, and the mods who have obviously worked on their projects are now going to be given the floor to showcase their projects, and we're going to chat about them. So it's going to be everyone judging your account, are they? Don't worry. Wait, what's your quest points? Oh, okay, wow. Okay, fair enough.
I got a wow from Shawnee. Oh, the pity. It hurts.
It wasn't meant to come out like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, this is my actual account.
I literally thought you only had 8 quests left. That's why I said, oh, wow, because I had to read the quest point number. Because to me, it looks like you've only got 8 left, but I didn't notice the scroll bar and everything else.
This is not my character name. It's just my player save.
That's... Oh, I didn't mean to just literally do that.
I'm happy with my account, all right?
Yeah, of course. You're getting the 99s and pets along the way as well.
Yeah.
Lucky man, prayer pet and everything. All right, so that'll do us for this. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Very much hyped for, of course, Player on Farms, Elite Dungeons, and, of course, watch the stream back at the start if you obviously missed it and everything else to try and catch up. But apart from that, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Incoming as well.
We're gonna end the stream and make sure try not to press that button just yet, JD, because we need to make sure. And we're gonna send you obviously the clue scrolls, and we'll see you on Thursday. So thank you so much for joining us. Take care and have a good one.